Child was critically injured, later died in a hospital. He was only 6 years old. The accused fled the scene with a female friend but was later apprehended. The police are now probing how the minor, is not a minor by the way, he's 21-year-old, got access to the vehicle. Lucknow is not an isolated tragedy. It fits a disturbing national pattern. From Pune on 19th of May 2024, where a luxury Porsche driven by a minor killed two young professionals, to Mumbai on 9th of July in 2024, where a BMW turned into wheels of death, to Ahmedabad in the March of 2025, where the killer brat shouted another round, and to Delhi on 9th of July 2025, when an Audi ran over homeless people sleeping on streets. The recent Lamborghini case from Kanpur and the bonnet drag incident from Bengaluru. Hit and run cases involving speed, privilege and alleged negligence in fact continue to claim lives across different cities. It's the same script, different dates, same grief. And the result is justice remains delayed and in some cases denied. These cases expose glaring loopholes in India's road safety and juvenile justice framework. Underage drivers continue to access high-powered vehicles with ease. Accountability is often delayed and responsibility is routinely shifted from drivers to parents, to owners, to the system itself. Punishment rarely matches the gravity of the crime and deterrence remains weak, raising serious questions about enforcement and parental responsibility and liability. Road safety is no longer just about traffic rules, it's about governance, it's about enforcement and accountability. Experts say that stricter checks on underage driving, crackdown on bogus licenses, tougher penalties for guardians, real-time surveillance and faster trials for urgently needed cases is the need of the hour. Without systemic reforms, India's roads will continue to be unforgiving, especially for pedestrians. Joining me on the show is Ranjan Dwivedi, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Rajiv Nanda, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, Anurag Kulshrestha, President, Tracks Road Safety NGO. It's a road safety NGO and I think that deserves the first question in the panel today. Anurag, what are you making of these cases? Day after day, it was in Kanpur just a few days ago. We are hearing of another case in Lucknow. What's driving this road rage?
Actually, Shweta, this is a common feature in India. Every day, newspapers or the channels are filled with all such news very much regularly. And our focus is not so much on that. Frankly, I'm telling you, it's a matter of the indiscipline, adventure, this glamour and thrilling experience, which is not being curbed by any policymakers in India. We are keeping it aside and focusing on such issues. We are discussing about the licensing system, we should improve that. Do we have a framework to get rid of the problems of 30 or 40 crores of drivers altogether who are existing drivers? Forget about the new one. How to curb all the problem of existing drivers? No framework. Number two, I think when Motor Vehicle Amendment Act was implemented, most like in Delhi, especially I'm taking care of about the Delhi issue, almost 60 to 70% drivers were obeying the traffic rules in Delhi.
Okay.
But that was a matter of exactly pure enforcement. But what happened after that? Almost every state government has opposed this.
So you're saying the law was the deterrence?
Of course, because if you will go through the developed countries, maybe US, Europe, Japan, if you are violating traffic rules once, means you are losing almost a 1 month salary.
That's right.
And here, how much I am losing? Just 500 rupees, 700 rupees, 1000 rupees, or maybe max 3 to 5,000 rupees.
Yep.
What will happen? I'll throw that money to anyone. And second thing, what's going on? 75% of the digital challans are unpaid by Indians. Government is having no framework to recover that amount. So once people are committing the mistakes and they are getting rid through the government procedure or the government framework, then finally governments are giving the relief to such violators. And after that, our judiciary system, which is saying, okay, come to our Lok Adalat and get rid of all these penalties. So this is an entire system which we are presenting to our citizens. It is pro-accident, pro-speeding, and thrilling experience. And it is promoted, like I was discussing about the psychological amount, because if you'll say road
Right.
safety at zero, then provocation
Absolutely.
and then execution.
Okay.
These are the two different things. At every state, we are having the provocation. When news channels or maybe the other medias, when they are doing, ab raftar se daudengi gaadiyan, what does it mean? And after that, raftar ka कहर. So means this word raftar, somewhere we have to think psychologically what is the impact on our youth
Okay.
of this word raftar.
I mean,
Yes, please.
you know, that's a very loaded statement as well. You know, as far as raftar is, I mean, raftar se to news bhi daud rahi hai, sir, but I don't understand whether we should get rid of that word altogether. But I think what we do need, Dr. Rajiv Nanda, and we do need stricter laws, we do need stricter deterrence. You know, coming to think of other countries where, in this country, I mean, getting a license is very easy. Think of a UK or think of a Germany where you have to study for days, you have to study for months in order to get a license. Here, sometimes you don't even have to appear in person to get a license. That's problem number one. Problem number two, the deterrence itself is very weak, as you know, has been pointed out, that you get away with paying 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, which is nothing. So because the law is not at par with the kind of enforcement we want and the kind of restrictions we want, people get away with doing what they get away with doing. So are the penalties enough? Do you think our road safety penalties, frameworks enough to deter people?
I think we are addressing the issue from the wrong side. We first must see as to who the drivers are. These drivers especially, I mean, every day we are seeing this kind of some bonnet pushing and Kanpur case or the Pune Porsche case, whatever. These are all rash and negligent. But the Lucknow case, I've been given to understand, the person driving is a juvenile. Now we have
Actually,
to address
that's still contentious, whether he is a juvenile. We are told that he's in class 12. Some are saying he was 21 years old. So
I am taking it for a moment that he is a juvenile, because this is a problem which is writ large across the country, whichever state you see. We must see as to who is the owner of the vehicle here. If that owner permits somebody to drive a car who is not authorized to drive or who's not authorizedly holding a driving license, then the owner of the car should be held vicariously liable for all these kind of things. Whether there are enough deterrents here, the problem here is that we don't enforce them. That's point number one. What I'm saying is, how does the school authorities permit such kind of vehicles, whether it is a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, to be driven inside the premises of that school? Because even if he's a class 12 student, at best he will be what, 16 or 17 years old? Can a 16 or 17 years old hold a license?
Okay.
If it is negative, then how they are permitting the principal of the school should be held responsible for such kind of vehicles to be brought in the school. Somewhere the owner of the vehicle, maybe he is the father, mother, or whosoever it is, must be vicariously held liable. That is the way we must address the issue here.
All right.
And then,
all right. Oh, understood. Ranjan Dwivedi, so is there a problem with deterrence, or is there a problem with enforcement, or is there a problem with awareness? I think there's a problem with all three. While deterrence seems to be also, you know, very weak, there is enforcement that is little, and then awareness obviously doesn't come naturally to us. We're not telling our kids from school to drive wisely. We're not teaching, you know, systems, civility. We're not teaching people how to do things the right way.
Well, Shweta, I completely agree with you and the other panelists. You see, deterrence is extremely weak in this country. Now, can you believe that till the new BNS came in the old IPC, if you killed somebody by rash and negligent driving, the maximum punishment was just 2 years. In the BNS now, it's 5 years maximum punishment. In other countries, it's life imprisonment. And if you have an accident, they suspend your license for 5 years, 6 years, 2 years, you know, different countries, different laws. Here, there is no such thing happening.
And if you end up killing someone, you're completely banned.
Get back,
if you end up
driving once again.
Right. If you kill someone, you're completely banned from ever driving again. There's no such thing in this country.
In some countries, that's the law. That if you kill somebody by rash and negligent driving, you can't, you're banned from driving in future. But so the structure of law itself, number one, is extremely weak in this country. The second thing is that the databases are not integrated. You know, if I commit an accident and if I injure somebody, if I kill somebody, I should be prevented from many other things which I may be entitled to. For example, getting a passport or getting a loan from a car, linking it to the insurance premium I have to pay for driving my car. You know, all this is integrated. So the structure of the law is very weak to begin with, number one. And secondly, you see, unfortunately, what happens is there's no punishment for speaking the untruth. In most cases, in most accident cases, if there's no death,
Right.
and even in the Kanpur case, you'll find ultimately all the witnesses will turn hostile. They get paid
Absolutely.
by the accused, and you see, they have. If I am injured by someone due to enmity, because of enmity, I will testify against the person.
Absolutely.
In accident
Absolutely.
cases,
So,
there's no
let
enmity.
me
So people
wind
who
this up
find
by
it more
saying.
expedient.
Absolutely. Let me wind this up. The systems are very complex to begin with. And I think, as I said, there's a problem with not just deterrence, there's also a problem with enforcement. Many people also end up believing the police personnel not being present at the right occasion, at the right times. And awareness, of course, continues to be a problem. Gentlemen, I've completely run out of time on the show. Thank you very much for taking time out. Thank you for joining. And we're shifting our focus this time around to Telangana's urban body polls, where Revanth Reddy and the Congress party have got a thumping victory. Telangana's urban politics has seen a decisive shift, with voter delivering a sweeping mandate to the Revanth Reddy-led Indian National Congress in the urban local body elections. Results of polling held on 11th of February show Congress winning 70 of the 116 municipalities and 4 of 7 municipal corporations, with overall numbers expected to cross 100 municipalities with independent support. This marks a sharp rise from just 5 municipalities won in 2020. The BRS has been pushed to a third position, reduced to 14 seats. Its worst ever urban performance, while the BJP managed lead only in 2 corporations. High voter turnout of nearly 75% underlined public confidence in the Congress government and the continuity in Congress governance. Observers see a result as an affirmation of Chief Minister Revanth Reddy's leadership and governance agenda as party continues its winning streak since the 2023 Assembly elections. Joining me on the show is my colleague. All right, we'll try and get Kartikeya Sharma, my colleague, to talk about what it means for the Congress party. But remember, as I mentioned earlier, high voter turnout of nearly 75% underlined public confidence in the Congress government. And observers see this as a result of affirmation on Chief Minister Revanth Reddy's leadership and governance agenda as the party continues its winning streak since 2023 Assembly elections. With momentum on its side, Congress has now turned its focus to the 2026 Greater Hyderabad civic polls, aiming to consolidate its dominance in urban Telangana.